every day. WhatsApp us anytime. 727-4474. The Wave, 94.5 and 93.7 FM. The home of modern music.
Get your praise from someone else.
I made no promises.
One kiss is all it takes.
If a girl touch me, me nah say me nah
What
be
you
that.
tell when you are buying, you be more careful, do you can find.
People, let me just say good morning to Alens very early on. Good morning to you, Alens.
Good morning, Roman. Good morning to everybody who's listening this morning on the Wave for our youth canvas this morning. And as like Homer said, we have two vibrant young people with us this morning. We're going to be interviewing for Youth Canvas, and I can't wait for the fun fact segment today. These two people are very vibrant, and I know
You know it's going to be interesting. Yeah, thank you for reminding me of the fun fact segment. Actually, I think I've been slacking on that vein, but we're going to set it up. We have with us this morning Elmo and Des. Now, Elmo is up first, so we're going to just give him some love right now. Good morning to you, Elmo.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing well. So I know I'm calling you Elmo because that's what Alens told me. So just for our listeners' sake, just tell us, because I know that's not your government name.
You see, you'll have to find out. Just search for that.
Oh my God! So you're not going to give it to us?
Nope.
Alens,
I could help you with that, though.
You know the government name.
I could help you with that one.
So Elmo.
Yes, Elmo Norville. I'm 18 years old and I'm a musician. I do business as well. Mm-hmm. And I attended the Castries Comprehensive Secondary School. Of course. But right now I'm just developing my brand as a musician and as a businessman. I'm trying to go to school right now, studying to do law or business, and my degree in music, of course.
Nice. Now, you have a voice. Do you sing as well?
You know, I used to sing, but I don't do it as much. I don't do that.
Alens, what's that about? Alens, what's that about? Why did you stop?
Well, instruments took over my life.
So you went from a vocalist to musician.
Well, I've always been a musician, always been playing instruments. I started singing because of Wycliffe Jean. When he came to St.Lucia, I interacted with him. And, you know, I was like, singing is not really for me. Singing is just for my, relaxing at home. You know, you just want to express yourself. When you're writing a song or writing a melody, you just use it, to create your music. But instruments are my life.
Nice. Now let's say hi and good morning to Des as well. We're going to be speaking to Des specifically in Youth Highlight. But how are you doing this morning, Des?
I'm doing really fine, thank you. I had a very busy week and I'm very happy to conclude my week today on the Wave.
I have to tell you, every time that you come to my studio or I meet you, I feel so accomplished. I'm like, I'm surrounded by by great people. So it's good to hear that you had a busy week. By the way, just in case we did not mention before, Desray is the president of the National Students Council. So she is, by extension, Alens' boss.
Yes,
right?
The big bad boss.
Alens, you have no comments on that?
I'm just going to.
You live in that alone?
Yeah, I'll let that Kasa wed. I'll let that.
Then tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I'm a very active individual, as many may know. I do a lot of different things. I'm a national track and field athlete. However,
I didn't know that, sir.
Yes, I am. However, I'm on a break right now due to various injuries. I'm the president of the National Students Council, as you know. I'm also a member of the Commonwealth Students Association.
Oh, nice.
I'm a lot of different things. I'm involved in a dance group. I do cheerleading. I do a lot of different things. I help out in the community. I'm also on the DAG Student Council. That's the student council at my school. So, and I'm also an academic. So I also keep my grades up there. So yes, I do a lot of different things.
Inside of Youth Highlight, we have to ask you how you manage that. So that Alens, that's one question we're putting up in, okay? Back to you, Elmo. By the way, it's so nice to have you here with us. Back to you, Elmo. Don't worry about that. Tell us a little bit about your instrument. So right now you have with you the ukulele.
Yes, definitely.
And you said that instruments have taken over your life. So something tells me that it's not the only one that you play.
Yeah, I started with piano. I started taking classical piano classes, reading music and stuff when I was about 3 years old at the St.Lucia School of Music. But I felt like classical music had me in an enclosed end. So I started playing brass instruments thanks to a guy named Kiche Greaves. I started on trombone. I started touching a little bit of the sax for a while, but I stuck to trombone. Then I started playing with the cadet band, School of Music, jazz band, Black Hands, playing at jazz and, some other events. Then, from the time I started picking up different instruments like guitar, bass, all of those instruments, I was like, no, that's my hobby. Instruments are my hobby. You wouldn't see me playing any sports. You wouldn't see me... Well, you'll see me dancing, that's all.
Yeah. Professional dancing?
No.
Okay,
just... Probably...
You're Alens, you're feta.
That's very true.
Yeah, but... One year, I was watching videos on YouTube with a guy playing some ukulele, and I was like, that's a relaxing instrument, just to chill and whatnot. I started playing it in around 2014, 2015. Then I put it aside and started focusing on bass alone. Started posting bass videos on Instagram. Then, last year around December, I saw a guy called Enya Banks, and he started doing some covers with some rappers in the US and in the UK. So I was like, why don't I become the Caribbean version of him? So I linked up with a few artists and then did my thing on Instagram.
Very nice. Now, Alens, is that how you came across Elmo? What made you decide Elmo would be great for today's...
Now, you see, Elmo took that because...
Yeah, you guys have been doing that, by the way. It's like you have an unspoken language going on there.
How I brought Elmo onto the show.
Yeah, how did you discover Elmo?
Well, I've known Elmo like my entire life. Yeah. From before at the Cathedral Choir, because we both attend the Cathedral Church at 10:30 Mass every Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, and he plays like they will not have one moment, just one moment. Elmo will come and he'll come to sing in the choir. He just goes and he plays an instrument. He's either on the keyboard or he's with bass or just something that keeps him. And then together with him and the other band, they just keep the church alive at 10:30 Mass, because basically it's the children's mass at the cathedral. So I guess it has to be live then thing, and they do it really, really, really good.
Thank you.
And so since I thought, we have the artistic segment, I just want to bring Elmo on, just like we had Deshante a few weeks ago and whatnot. And then I have seen him partnered up with Deshante and Chaz already. Yeah. So one day I want to see a triplet, all three of y'all playing, one song at a good time. And I think
that's coming.
I think I this time I might chant, because I realized that everybody, Desray challenged Charles to do a song at one time on the pan. So I think I'll have to challenge the three of y'all at one time.
at one time to do something.
And I think it's really good because at least it engages him in positive activity and he's not out there being,
look at you sounding like a role model, like a young leader. Nice. Elmo, you mentioned that you've partnered with some artists. Tell us some of the people that you've worked with.
I partnered with Ezra, Rashad Joseph, Cripple, of course, you cannot forget him.
Can't.
I partnered with Shemiji, Kuya, Umpa, and recently I did one with the army guy, Jim Hunt.
All right, nice. So these are a number of artists that that's like a range. So Cripple does Kuduro, and then there's Soca, and then there's nice. So what can you play? What type of music can you play? Just about everything?
Everything, yeah. But I love jazz and zouk music.
Okay.
Yes.
A little Kassav here and there.
Yes, Kassav makes it lively. Kassav gives you the spirit, and if you don't have Kassav, you don't have nothing.
I like that. So what are you playing with for us today?
Well, I'm just playing like a medley of songs.
Okay.
Just to give you a little rhythmic, something to make you dance on the radio.
Now you can't mean to tell me. I mean, Homer is at work this morning. I'm here helping you. I'm co-hosting it, and you have you ready to blow the roof off at the wave this morning.
I'm ready.
So
that's
the
what
whole Calione court will just go up this morning because
That is what it's about. So we need to hold on tight for that. You're locked on to the wave 94.5 and 93.7 FM. When we return, we're going to hear Elmo do his thing, and we're going to talk a little more with Des about all the great things that she does. So you need to keep it locked on. Your hit station, your place for the hits, and so much more. The wave 94.5
and 93.7 FM.
Thank you for staying with us. The wave 94.5 and 93.7 FM. This is Youth Canvas, and joining us today, Alens is a staple, and usually we hope that Des becomes a staple on to Youth Canvas as well. Alens is here co-hosting. Des is here in the Youth Highlights segment, and we're also joined by Elmo to know his full name a little later.
Just now, Elmo, before Elmo goes,
Yes.
it's just that I'm hearing Elmo, but then we're not saying his government name, and the government
Elmo said that's something for y'all to find out.
That's something to find out.
The government name is on the table of my heart, and it's just not coming out.
It's on the table of your heart.
Yes, my heart has a whole table, a living room, a kitchen, two is into
Now,
bagay.
let me tell you something, Alens. The fact that Elmo's government name is on the table of your heart, it means we need to have a conversation,
Of course. But that one has to be in chambers,
Hey!
That one has to be in
Elmo,
chambers.
tell Alens, move your name on the table of his heart, because
The government name is Elmo Norville.
there we go. Elmo Norville, and we're sticking to that.
Deep breath.
Alens, leave Elmo alone. Good morning to you, Leroy. We're hoping that you're having a great Saturday. Now, Elmo, are you ready for us? We're ready to hear what you have in store for us on the ukulele. So you said you're going to be playing a medley.
Yes.
You guys ready?
I'm going to be playing a medley, but for one of the songs, you'll have to come help me out.
What was that you said, Alens? We're not doing one?
I'm not.
We're not doing one? We're not doing magic for ourselves?
Oh yeah, no, we're not doing magic for ourselves this
We'll
morning.
try.
No,
We'll try.
no
We'll try.
story. No story.
Come on, Alens. We're going to try. We're going to try. Okay, Elmo, whenever you're ready. Nice. I like that. Now, Elmo gave me a little crash course in the ukulele. And let me tell you, he makes this look so easy because it had it. It really is. I tell you, if you all right, so that's cool. In addition to the ukulele, are you thinking of taking up any more instruments?
Well, right now, ukulele is just my social media instrument, but when it comes to stage and whatnot, I usually play the bass guitar.
The bass guitar?
Yeah, that's my number one instrument, my love.
Your love. Nice. Does she or she?
She.
Does she have a name?
No.
No?
She
Just
doesn't
my
have a
love?
name. Just my love.
Just my love. All right. I like that.
Mi
You should
amor.
actually call her that. Just my love.
My love.
True.
Just my love. I like that. Nice. And for us to stay in touch to, follow you, how do we do so?
At Elmo Norville on Instagram. Just check out all my videos. I have amazing content, so follow up.
You post every day, every week?
I post on Mondays and Thursdays, and if I don't post on Thursdays, I post on Fridays.
Okay.
Elmo even have schedule to
Of course.
post.
It's important. It's important.
Wow.
That would make a great show, though. How to social media.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
We'll put that down for
next
for sure.
yeah.
Nice. Thank you for that, Elmo. Now, Des, I want you just to grab that mic a little bit. So, inside of you, Highlight, and I think I want to give Alens the opportunity to question you this morning, because I think this will be an interesting conversation.
No problem.
Well, you see, my big boss. I'm just hoping that she's ready for the questions.
Hey,
You know?
leave
Yes,
that
I'm
over
always
there.
ready. Especially for Alens.
I mean,
I know that y'all, just before you get into it, Alens, I know that you guys work very closely. Alens, you being the PRO. How do you guys do it? Like, how do you mesh those two personalities together? Because it's two different personalities, just from interacting with both of you separately. How do you deal with Alens?
Honestly, Alens is a special, like a real type of special. The thing is, you need to know how to deal with him. You need to understand him first of all. And then I think that's what happened with me. I learned to understand how he is, so I know how to go about dealing with him, in a sense that it was never hard with me. Alens and I just got together well. I think it's because his personality kind of combats mine, so then it meshes together well.
Nice. And I asked that question, and I'm picking on Alens, but it's really something. It's really something that you need to have when you're a leader, and that's to both of you, a leader in youth development, because you come in contact with so many different people, so many different personalities, and you have to work towards a common goal. So how do you guys do it? Like, is there a strategy that you usually put in place, or you just read the person and try and figure out, okay, this is how we get that message across?
Well, for me, when we first started working together, we always had icebreakers at our meetings, and I find that was one way where we got to know each other better. Alens was the type of person, he just came in, bam, one time. His personality shot up.
Yes.
So it wasn't anything to learn about him. However, for other persons, we took the icebreakers very seriously, so we got to learn each other. We got to learn how to deal with each other, and then it took off from there.
Nice. Alens, is it the same for you and come in contact with various people on a daily basis?
I mean, yeah, that's one thing about me. I like meeting new people, especially that the National Students Council, it's a body where we come to work and think and whatnot. When we sit at executive meetings, I mean, Desray could tell you that the afternoon we were voted in, when we were sworn in as the new NSC executive, it was just like we stood there taking the pictures together, and it was already a family. And I just think that there was nothing that we will have ups and downs, and we may have ups and downs once in a while, but it's controllable, and that's what makes us a family. Because you cannot tell me somebody's going on the road and you don't have good and bad. You must have both, or bad. Yeah, you must have both. So I think that's really and then we learn from it, because sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. So all from the different experiences I've shared with them and whatnot, I just had to learn from it, and then our relationships just grew stronger each day.
A walking book of quotes, eh? I'm definitely taking that one. Sometimes you win, and sometimes you learn. Yes, Alens Plante. Yeah, I can say that.
Yes,
Plante.
Copyrighted.
Nice. Now, Des, I know that you recently participated in Youth Parliament. I just want to know, from your perspective, how was the experience for you?
Honestly, it was something that they came to me a little late, because I was initially supposed to do it. However, because of my time constraints, I wasn't able to attend all the meetings. But still, I'm the type of person you can come to me last minute and I'll get the job done. So it was really last minute. It was on the weekend. They told me I had to take part in Youth Parliament on Tuesday. And when they gave me my ministry, I was the Minister of Home Affairs, Justice and National Security. It was the perfect ministry for me, seeing that my father is the Deputy Commissioner of Police.
Oh, okay.
So we
didn't know that.
Yes, he's Milton Daisy, so he was able to provide me with all the information, and then I worked on getting my speech together. And at Youth Parliament itself, it was very prestigious to be in the house, to sit in their seats, and just to get the feel of what it's like for the parliamentarians in the real life. So it was something that I really enjoyed being part of it. All the cameras were on you. It was something, it made you feel very prestigious.
It makes you feel like I can do this.
Yeah, it did.
I can do this.
It made me question. It made me question the subjects that I do right now. Actually, like, I'm currently doing biochem and pure math at Sir Arthur, and I'm like, why am I doing these subjects?
Let's structure ourselves with the political sciences and ensure that. I know the feeling. Alens, do you ever feel like you want to participate, or have you ever participated in Youth Parliament?
Well, I'm looking forward to participating in April, and it's an auditioning process. So hopefully, I guess, I will be seated there in April. Yeah.
Okay, nice. And Des, what was the resolution that you guys debated?
we debated on the fact that whether the youth parliament agrees that Sir Arthur Lewis Community College should be transformed from a 2-year institution to a 4-year university.
And what was your position on that?
Actually, at first, like just being a student from Sir Arthur, I wasn't for it. Just from seeing what's going on in the school. But then when I got the facts and all the info about the ministry and how it would be beneficial to the ministry itself and then St. Lucia in the near future, I was for the motion. And my points were very strong, like said by everybody else. And it was really a nice topic to debate on. I gave some valid points. And I feel like it would benefit St. Lucia, honestly.
Nice, that's good to hear. Now, since, Des, you're fresh out of the House of Parliament as youth parliamentarian for Home Affairs, and we know Alens is always up for a challenge. And we have Elmo here with us, who recently left school as well. We know that one of the big topics and one of the big things going around in the news is the fact that the government has put a halt on corporal punishment for the eventual abolition of it. So hopefully when we return, we could have a little discussion about that. We could tell me what you think, and we could make that happen. Yes?
Yeah, no problem.
Nice. Keep it locked on to the wave, 94.5 and 93.7 FM. We're inside of Youth Canvas, happening every Saturday at 9 right here. So keep it locked on. Thank you for staying with us inside of Youth Canvas right here on the wave. We are here. Well, Alens is here with us as a guest co-host. Des is here with us from National Students Council, President of the National Students Council, Desray Daisy.
Yes.
Daisy, yes. And we have Elmo Norville here with us as well. Our young musician. Alens, leave Elmo alone. Our young musician today, he brought the ukulele with him, but he is very multifaceted when it comes to the instruments. Let me say good morning to Joanna. Joanna, good morning to you. I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you? I hope that you're doing well. So we were talking about the recent announcement that corporal punishment will be done with. By 2020, there will be no more corporal punishment in schools, and there will have to be another way for children to be disciplined. And
I think to Homer, that plays a big part under the National Students Council, under our role, because we have to play big parts in that.
Yeah, and I see you giving Desray a side eye, but to me it's you that's PRO. So that side eye you giving Des.
He has to voice my opinion and those of the council.
Nice, but I just want to take some time to know what's your view on it. So you heard that it's being halted currently, and by 2020, would you still be in school in 2020?
In 2020, yes, I'll still be in school.
Yeah, and Alens do it.
However, I really doubt Sir Arthur would ever try corporal punishment.
That's true.
I mean, well, Sir Arthur is basically adults, so
I
mean, they don't really. I mean, for me as the head teacher of Sir Arthur, I'd look at suspension or probationary period or something.
And not
but
even
I
that occurs at Sir
you don't even get much. If what you do, you do what you do.
They treat us like we're at university ourselves.
Did you go to Sir Arthur? No. There's and entering Sir Arthur, and I know that we're talking about corporal punishment, but that note just struck me. When you entered, what was the feeling like for you? That difference from coming from such structure to them just dropping you and telling you, look, go.
Convent, I went to convent before, and convent provided such a high level of structure and discipline that going into Sir Arthur was just like dropping us in deep water by ourselves to drown.
Sink or swim.
It was like we were really on our own. The teachers behave differently, like towards us. It's different with your work. If you don't do it, you don't do it. If you do it, you do it.
If you go to class, you don't go to class.
Totally different environment for us as students, and it was something that I'm still currently adapting to because I haven't even gotten the hang of it as yet.
I can imagine.
So it's very different from secondary school.
Nice. Now, Alens, we're going to start with you, if you don't mind. What's your view on the abolition of?
Okay, I mean, as far as I know, like I was saying, is that to be halted as of 1st May 2019 cabinet conclusion. I think that corporal punishment should not be abolished in schools. This is my opinion, and it's coming from inside. And why? Because I don't know for others, but I learned from my corporal punishment. And when my mother, well, if she's listening now, I know that she'll be probably laughing or something.
Good morning, mommy.
That when I would get that whooping, you know, you have to understand that, Alens, next time not to do it again. And I think when my mother used to beat me to Homer, my mother would tell me, that's when I beat you now, that's all the things you did before.
Oh my
so
gosh.
You get it now. So I really learned from it too. I think in schools, but that's at home, That's at home. But in schools, I think that it could be managed. Corporal punishment should be there. Well, could be there, but it could be managed as in the head teacher or principal, vice principal, or the vice principal's main job actually is to maintain discipline, and the dean of discipline, who falls to the vice principal, should be taking over corporal punishment. Because recently there was an incident at the Boca Secondary School, but that's for another show, because it's a set of a teacher and thing and whatnot.
But the teacher actually struck the
student and her mother came out and thing and whatnot.
You know,
I mean, I'm not a perfect student. Back in primary school, I would get the strap because there were one or two things, because I make mistakes, and and I would know that back in that time when I got that strap at my alma mater, I'd know you're not supposed to do it in school again. Yes, so I really think that it should be managed, and that, well, not that teachers could get full access and thing and whatnot, but just let schools administration, in terms of discipline, take care of corporal punishment at the schools.
Okay, how about you, Des? What is your view on it?
I possess a slightly different view to Alens. Alens agrees with me in certain aspects, in the sense that I feel like if it's still there, it should be managed. In my honest opinion, I don't see it right that persons who aren't the parents of the child lay their hands on the child.
So you think it should be?
I feel like it should be, because unless a principal is given the right to lay their hands on a child by a parent, it shouldn't be done, in my honest opinion. Because what if one day your child comes home and just has a lot of marks on their skin? You as a parent will automatically feel like an injustice was done to your child.
Sure.
So even if your child did something wrong, so different acts of punishment like the suspension, people say it's not effective, but in my opinion, I feel like when a school suspends you, it's the parents' right to go home and discipline their child in order for them to come back to school to do the right thing.
Nice. So,
however, the parents decide to discipline their child as their business. If they beat the child, if they do something else, that's their problem. But for students and teachers alike, I don't feel like the relationship should be hands-on.
I get you. Nice. Elmo, how about you? What's your take on this?
Well, I agree with Alens on that take, and I see where Desir is coming from. But I say they're doing it, like he said. Have the dean of discipline or the vice principal doing so, because you know there are some children at school, they will do it again and again and again, and you wouldn't want children to be out of school. That's for me. Crime in St.Lucia is because of people not being in school and people just idle. Because when you send the children home, what do? They don't study. Most of them don't study.
True.
You see them outside sitting down doing nothing. Then when they come back to school, they will usually ask teachers or friends to help them out, and most of the time they don't really get any assistance or anything. So I'm saying that the deans of disciplines and the vice principals, have a discussion on who's gonna be disciplining and whatnot, and if they are to beat the children, call the parents first and notify them that, okay, your child did this and that, so that's why we are disciplining them. And at home, of course, corporal punishment. That's how I learn.
That's how you learn too.
I kind of believe with Des. I kind of believe in what Desray said too. I mean, at the same time, it should be managed. I think still with the principal administration in terms of discipline, taking care of corporal punishment, parents should be notified at first. And if the parent said, I don't want you to touch my child, it should be within those ring. I don't want you to, the person doesn't want you, don't touch your child, they will discipline their child on their own.
I got a very interesting story during the week about this, like just what you said, and this person didn't want to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway and deal with the consequences.
Well, I mean, for my part, my school has a code of conduct, and when you Form 1, when I went up to do my code of conduct, to pick up my registration package and everything, your mother or your parent would have to sign a kind of contract thingy that you have registered and thing. So once that means you're a full-fledged student of the school now. Now that means you have to adhere to the code of conduct, to the rules of the school. Now the repercussions for certain whatever how should I say it? Whatever negativity you engage or whatnot in the school is corporal punishment, and it says that in the code of conduct. So I think that honestly, I mean, in my case, unless they're going to have corporal punishment at my school because my mother signed a contract that stating you're going to beat me at my school.
Yeah, so I like I was saying, a friend of mine, I can't call him a friend, but a friend of mine was saying, we were talking about this, and he said to me, when he was in primary school, he was a troublemaker, and he used to get the licks. They used to beat him, and he says, it's finally in primary school, he says, you know what? And he actually said it to the teacher, this year, nobody not beating me. Like, no teacher not touching me. So the teacher then says to him, go get his mother. Now his mother worked within the vicinity of the school. So he's walking and he's going to his mother. So as soon as his mother sees him, she vexes already because he always in trouble, always doing something. And so as soon as he gets there, his mother says, what did you do? Well, he says, the teacher would like to see you. So they go to the school, he feeling like he has backup because nobody not touching him this year. He big, nobody not touching him. Mind you, this is primary school, eh? As soon as they get to the school, the teacher has not said anything. The mother just goes, beat him. I don't care what you do, beat him.
Wow.
Just beat him. And he says that gave that gave the teacher, power. The teacher felt good, so he really did take the licks for that. So he says definitely just do away with it. Do away with it. He doesn't want corporal punishment. But mind you, he's a grown man now. And it's still haunting.
I think that too, the reason why ministry wants to abolish corporal, especially at homes too, and sometimes at schools, they do the corporal punishment like excessive. They go out of bounds. So like, for example, you'd find like Desir saying, you'd find your child coming home with marks. No parent at all would want their child coming home with marks, because I'm sending my child to learn, to sit in the class. I understand the child may misbehave and whatnot, you give him, but you don't beat the child so much that the child has to come home maybe for black eye or something. That's really out of the way.
That's true.
And you most times find that occurring when a male teacher administers the corporal punishment, because males versus females, they have different strengths. But when you get a male so upset that he raises his hand on a child, it most likely possesses greater risks to that child. So you mostly find it when the male teacher
because back in my time at my primary school, I didn't. Well, I saw what happened, but I'm not gonna say any names. But a female teacher, we were having information technology at the time, and she was saying that anybody who speaks in a class is going to get the strap, and at the time she was pregnant also. So then there was this other guy, my former classmate, who was speaking, and then they caught him speaking and things. She gave him 20 strokes with the strap, and then this part of his wrist just came up and it was swollen. So yeah, he came with his mother the next day, and he was complaining that it was really painful. He couldn't do anything again with his hand and whatnot. But I can't remember. I cannot say that anything because I don't know what happened in the principal's office. But I could tell you, as far as I know, that his mother was irate, because you don't want your child coming home complaining, crying and thing and whatnot, and his hand is swollen.
Sure.
And then people would be giving her jokes saying, she's pregnant, so she has mood swings and things and whatnot. But I guess in the first place,
which is a real thing, but
the teacher, she was saying that I don't want you speaking in my class, and then at a grade 5, because it was standard 3 at the time, grade 5, you have responsibility of your own. If the teacher said no speaking, but you going excessive with the corporal punishment. I mean, we took 20 strokes as nothing, but the way that she put the 20 strokes on his hand, it was really, really, really bad.
We have one of our listeners actually chiming in and saying she's never given any teacher the okay to beat her child if he does something call him in as opposed to call her in as opposed to beating. I agree.
Yeah, I think first, even though that it's managed, I really think that but I mean, when the council, because the National Students Council, we have to put out a press statement. You can't, because our president has spoken, she has given her say, but as a council, we have to give our views on it. But we have the back of our president, so we have to be neutral. We can't take any sides. So yeah,
nice.
President proud.
Yeah, let me tell you, they're making me proud, and they make me feel like a big sister. I'm so proud of you guys. Locked on to the wave 94.5 and 93.7 FM. When we return, fun facts. Yes, give it locked on. Welcome back. We're in the final segment of Youth Canvas, and that is the fun fact segment where I get to ask fun questions that you're obligated to answer. You cannot pass. All right, so there are going to be 5 of them, and then I promise that I'm going to make them as easy as possible. All right? We ready? All of us ready?
Excited.
All right, that's sweet. Okay, so the first one, very easy. When was the last time you climbed a tree?
Wow.
When was the last time I climbed?
Homer, so ready?
How is it hard? It's not hard.
I think the last time for me, I climbed a tree, I was 7-8 years old. So that was like 7 years ago. I would climb the plum tree, the mango tree. Would have this place we'd call a savin, because I recently got to know what's a savin. I didn't know what was a savin.
Okay.
Yeah. So people gave me jokes. They told me I'm not a country person, which is true. I don't know what a savin. So I got to know.
And he says that in such part, which is true. I don't know what a savin is.
So yeah, that was the last time.
Well, for me, my father's side of the family grew up in Choiseul, so I was there quite often. So, you know, when it's plum season, all these kinds of things, you're in the trees climbing. So for me, it was like probably when I was around the same age as Alens, we always used to climb to get plums and stuff.
Yeah, me, that's a regular thing for me. Every plum season, Homer climbs a tree.
Yeah.
How about you, Elmo?
That's difficult. But I think the last time I climbed a tree was around last year, mango season.
Mango season.
Mango season, you have to climb a tree. If you don't climb a tree, you're not eating the mango properly.
It's coming up again.
Climbing the tree is a part of the process of eating a mango.
Wow.
It's coming up again. So you
you
have the opportunity to do so. Okay, so the next question. What is the most annoying habit that other people have?
When people eat. Oh my gosh. For me.
I said no time. That's like, I've got this one, y'all.
Yes. What annoys me the most when people eat and I can hear them eating every single thing. I cannot take the sound. I cannot look at people and hear them eating.
The smacking.
Yeah, it passes. Yeah, when it.
I think for me is when people drink and then this thing goes down your throat and that's like, no, that doesn't go. It's annoying.
For me, of course, it's music. When people singing off key.
When people are singing off key.
That trouble me so much.
All right. Okay. If you had unlimited funds to build a house that you would live in for the rest of your life, what would the finished house look like? Now, you could answer that with 3 things that the house must have. So again, if you had unlimited funds to build a house that you would live in for the rest of your life, so that's it, like from now until the rest of your life, what would the finished house be like?
The finished house must have a theater.
Oh, nice. And when you say a theater, what does that entail?
Like a mini version to the cinema kind of thing.
Okay.
So I'm at home. If I want to go watch TV with my friends, if I don't need to leave the house to go and have fun with my friends. Also, obviously, a pool. So, you know, if you want to have a party and stuff. And I would love for my house to have a lot of space around the yard, a lot of space. So if I have children or anything, they can have time to play around in the yard and stuff.
Nice. I like that. How about you?
I think if I had a house, unlimited funds, first I'd have a helicopter. I would not do aviation, but I would have a helipad and my helicopter is there. Yes.
James Bond.
I would have a bar with the finest wines, the finest rum, the spirit.
Thank you so much, Elmo.
And this huge, and I think
I guess he's projecting for the future.
also I would have a theater just like Desray, but that theater only could have 2 people.
Alright, let's just move on. Let's just move on from that.
Of course, I must have a studio. I must have a gym, my own personal gym, and a lot of yam.
And a lot of yam?
Yeah.
Oh.
A lot of country.
Yeah, space. Yeah, sorry, I heard yam. I was just about to say, okay, somebody is into the grand provisions. All right, next question. What takes up too much of your time?
NSC.
So just now, say that into the mic, and then school for you. Alens, what takes up too much of your time?
Man himself. I don't know. I think I'm in so many. What takes up most of my time?
Too much,
school.
not most. Too much.
Too much.
Yeah.
Too much of my time. Food. Like I eat all the time. You could ask Desir, you could tell I eat all the time. It's just that I'm on the stage, so I can't be eating in the studio. But I eat as soon as I leave the studio. I'm getting something to eat. I eat all the time.
For me, my genuine answer is me being on my phone. My mother complains about it all the time. My phone is it's kind of like an addiction. So anytime you'd always catch me on my phone, and that
They're lifestyle devices. They help us live. Like, give us a break.
Well, I do some producing, so I usually stay in my room all the time. I don't come out. So it's done. And you would hear my mom shouting through all the walls in the house. Alden, it's too loud.
He just gave it to us.
And you see, I didn't even had to tell you out to get your name. You see, I know I'd have got you.
Yeah, but you need to get that room soundproof.
Yeah.
Get some padding for those walls.
Of course, I must get a studio. When I build my studio, everything will be in order.
Yeah, so
by
mom will stop complaining. Yeah. I like that. All right, so that was question 4. The final question. It was there. The final question for you today. Let's see here. It was perfect. It was like the perfect question. All right, let me just pick another one. When people come to you for help, what do they usually want help with?
My mother, her phone. That's the person. That is the person who comes to me for help the most. Is either her phone, or if somebody else, is money. People just look at me and they just think I'm a very poor child.
That's not what they think. I'm coming to you for money.
But I mean, okay, honestly, I cannot see people suffering. I cannot see people crying and things and whatnot. I'll always try out my. So I think whatever I have, I give. So I guess they sometimes take it as a habit.
Alens have money. Alens have money to give.
Yeah, I mean the most I could give is at least $5.
I get you.
Yeah, but apart from that, if it's not them, it's my mother, if her phone. Alens, and she's looking at the phone like, and show me how you doing this and thing. I'm like, mommy, come on.
Your mom is going to kill you for asking her like that.
For me, when people come to ask me for help, it's most times for schoolwork, like math. Math is one of my favorite subjects, and I'm always willing to help with math and with managing my time. Management of time. They always ask me, how do you do it? What should I be doing more? Questions like that.
What should I be doing more? Because I think I need a little lesson. We'll talk about that.
Yes, we'll talk about that.
All right. Elmo.
Yes, for me, they always ask for help to play instruments or chords. Everything in my life is music.
I apologize. I feel bad. I feel bad because as soon as Elmo came in, I'm like, can you teach me? Nice. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me this week. I say you always make my job so much more fun. Elmo, I hope this is not the last time we're going to see
Definitely
you here.
not.
Nice. And we're going to ensure that we follow you. So just drop those tags for us again so we remember.
You can follow me at Norville on Instagram. I have amazing content, and sometimes I post on my Facebook, Norville, but most of all, Instagram.
Instagram, that's your platform.
Yeah.
Des, how about you? Any final words, any final thoughts that you'd like to share with us?
Well, I'd just like to thank you so much for having me today. I would like to give a shout out to one of my cousins who I've been conversing with, Simon Daisy.
Hey, Simon.
Hi, Simon. And just keep doing what you're doing.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
For me, I think my final words to everybody to this afternoon, the Artistic and Cultural Youth Development Canvas will be having their Miss Junior Castries pageant, and it will be at the CSA Center in St.Lucia this afternoon at 2:30 p.m. and it's $20. 5 vibrant girls, I could tell you, between the ages of 11 to 12 will be competing for that title, and they're from Castries North, Castries East, Castries South, Castries Central, and Castries Southeast. So to all of you, all the listeners, sorry, if you're listening today and you heard your constituency or your community name, you can come out. Just $20 at the CSA Center. It's an upcoming youth group where they're putting on this pageant, and it will be tremendous because these children have a lot to display for us this afternoon. I just want to big up Gio because that's his group. He's the founder, and the national coordinator for the group, which is really good. Yeah.
Nice. And I am supposing that the funds are going towards fundraising.
Most likely.
And development.
Yes.
Nice. Thank you for that. And to all our listeners, thank you so much for keeping it locked on. You good? Is there anybody you'd like to shout out before I close?
I like to shout out my mom. She's in Trinidad right now.
Hi, mommy.
Hi, mommy. Enjoy the Bamal for us too.
Shazzy's jealous.
Yeah.
Shazzy.
Don't be jealous.
We're sending you love, Shaz. We're sending you love. Nice. Thank you again so much for joining us. Keep it locked on to the wave 94.5 and 93.7 FM. You know, making way for Masana. She's coming through with that countdown 10:30, and so you could be a part of the fun right here. The wave 94.5 and 93.7 FM, and at 11 on WVNT, we're bringing you that one-day international match from the Darren Sami Cricket Grounds on our sister station WVNT 93.5 and 94.7. So you could tune in for that. In the meantime, keep it locked on to the wave. We're bringing you hit after hit after hit.
St. Lucia's #1 hit station of modern music.
Get your praise from someone else.
I made no promises.
One kiss is all it takes.
If a girl touch me, me nah say me nah
What
me
you
that.
tell when you are buying, you be more careful, do you can find.
Stay connected all day, every day. WhatsApp us anytime. 727-4474. The Wave 94.5 and 93.7 FM. The home of modern music.
Get your praise from someone else.
I made no promises.
One kiss is all it takes.
If a girl touch me, me nah say me nah
What
me
you
that.
tell when you are buying, you be more careful, do you can find.
Stay connected all day, every day. WhatsApp us anytime. 727-4474. The Wave 94.5 and 93.7.